Alright, so this is my self-evaluation on how I did with my big talk this past week. Some of the weaknesses that I thought, or that I can think of right off the bat, were I was running a little low on time, so at the very beginning uh, I was really trying to hurry myself to get things set up, and I messed up with the clicker. I clicked the wrong button on the clicker, which kind of set my presentation off on a bad start. But that was one thing. Another thing that I wish I could have done better was to be able to get out and move around a lot more. But I used a lot of statistics and numbers in my presentation, so it was a little difficult to get away from what I had in my note cards completely. So there was times where I wish I could have gone out and moved around more, but then I knew I had a statistic coming up and I didn't want to mess up on that when I was going to have it up on the projector screen. So that's one thing I wish I could have done better. Some other things I wish I could have done better were, I remember when I was going through the different types of cardiovascular disease, or the main types, there was one that I slipped up on a little bit and I wish I could have said more on. Um, some of my strengths that I thought I had, it was something that I was passionate about talking with, so I was confident in my talk about it. There was at the end of or near the end of the speech or my talk, there was a period of time where I went into a narrative and kind of just talked about personal experiences, which I thought really helped pull it all together, because whenever you have something that's personal to you, you connect with the audience more, and also added a little bit of an emotional side to it, which kind of pulled everybody in at the end, I hope. My connection with the audience, from what I could tell, I mean, I paid attention to them the whole time looking out there, and it seemed like they were listening and following along. I could see a lot of the time they were shaking their head yes, and or just like paying. I could tell that they were paying attention to it. My preparedness, uh, I was pretty prepared to do it. The only reason I would say that I was not as prepared as I wanted to be was that was the first time I'd really talked about something that issue that pertained to me in a big way. And since I had figured out that I had had this problem myself, so I never really told a whole bunch of people that personal side of the story, and there's really only a select few people that knew I even had an issue when it came to that. So it was kind of a big step for me to be able to get up there and tell everybody about that. And I don't know if I was as prepared as I'd wanted to be, as I'd wanted to be for that. My design, I thought, was good. I thought my PowerPoint that I had along with my talk, I really based that around what I had already written down that I wanted to say. So it was really simple, and it was to the point most of the time. There wasn't a lot of noise in it. Uh, my delivery was good. I feel like I might have sped myself up in certain parts, but that's one of the problems I've been trying to work on, is slowing myself down and just keeping a good pace. Sometimes when I have a lot to say in a certain particular part, I speed it up a lot, and that's one thing I wish I could have done delivery-wise, is to slow myself down in certain areas. But I thought overall my volume and everything else was good. There was a lot of big words I had to say, which I got right, so I'm happy with that. Uh, what do I need to do to keep growing as a speaker? I think just like the more you do it, the better you get at it. So just being more even outgoing, just socially, and being able to talk in front of groups of people. I think the more you do that, the more or the better you get at it. I feel like I've accomplished a lot in learning about different ways to present and everything, and I feel like I have all those basic fundamentals. It's just the fact that you got to keep implementing them, and not just school and business settings, but every day. Things I learned from this experience, I've learned a ton. I mean, I already knew a lot about presenting and uh, setting things up and stuff like that. I've done a lot of presentations since I've been in school, and I've even had some presentations I've had to do in certain jobs and stuff. So I had a lot coming into it, but there's also a lot more I learned from it. The Presentation Zen book had a lot of outside the box type of ideas, and I think those are important because those aren't always things you think about, and I think we need to stick with learning different types of outside the box thinking rather than just the norm, because you need to figure out different ways of doing it, things that makes it more interesting. Um, Overall, I thought it was pretty good. I wish I could have done some certain things better, um, but I feel as if I got what I wanted to say across, and I got it across in uh, a good way, and I feel like I didn't have any major mishaps in the presentation, so I'm satisfied. I wish I could have done a little bit better, but I mean, if I had the chance, I'd probably go up there and I could do it a little bit better just because I've already did it once. But what are you gonna do? I did my best as far as I'm concerned, and that's good enough for me. All right, thank you.